The headlines. Federal government set to roll out 100 billion naira solar program for public institutions. Appeal court set to deliver judgment on disputed Ibadan PDP convention. In other news, Istanbul's ex-mayor Mogul to stand trial on corruption charges. We'll bring the details of these stories and more in a moment. Good afternoon and welcome to Spectrum Television News at noon. We head now to the nation's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who has applauded Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umoino for his immense support for women's development and inclusive governance in the state. Addressing the people at the commemoration of the 2026 International Women's Day held at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo, Tinubu acknowledged the state and its people as a united state with exceptional sense of hospitality and greatness. According to the First Lady, the theme for this year's Women's Day celebration, rights, justice, action for all women and girls, is a call to action, protecting the rights of women and girls by ensuring access to education, economic empowerment, health, social protection, and equity. In his remarks, Governor Umoino appreciated the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, for honoring the state with her visit to inaugurate the Senator Oluremi Tinubu Senior Citizen Center, and also appreciated President Tinubu for the Coastal Highway project and the promised Ibom Deep Seaport, which he said will open up new economic opportunities for the state, and pledged the unwavering support of the state for his re-election for a second term in the 2027 election. The governor congratulated women on the successful celebration of the 2026 International Women's Day and promised to continue to support the growth of women and empower them for greater family support in the state. In the meantime, wife of Nigeria's President, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has commended the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Mo Basieno, for prioritizing the welfare of the elderly citizens in the state. In her remarks during the formal inauguration of the Oluremi Tinubu Arise Citizen Center in Uyo, the First Lady expressed delight to the governor for prioritizing the welfare of senior citizens in the state, noting that a society that honors the elderly is one that understands responsibility, gratitude and continuity. She acknowledged the late First Lady of the state, Patience Umoino, for her vision for the Elderly Citizen Center in the state and thanked the governor for realizing the vision which, according to her, has exceeded her personal vision of what the project should look like. In his remark, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umoino, described the project as a passionate brainchild of his late wife, which aligns with the federal government's renewed hope initiatives as it relates with elders' care. Governor now promised to send a bill to the State House of Assembly to protect the right to cater for the elderly citizens in the state and urged the Speaker of the State House of Assembly to work towards ensuring the speedy passage of the bill.
Under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, the Renewed Hope agenda places people at the center of governance. It emphasizes social investment, improved healthcare and food security, economic empowerment and protection of every Nigerian citizen. Projects like this align strongly with that vision, ensuring that no Nigerian is left behind, especially our elderly. I encourage the management of this center to ensure that it remains accessible, well-maintained, and responsive to the needs of our elderly population. I also urge our families and communities to continue to show love and support to their aging parents and relatives. Government can provide structures, but society must provide warmth and
Government House correspondent Jane Uwa reports that presenting the general overview of the project delivery advisor, Dr. Ita Awan, highlighted that the project was designed and equipped to provide care and comfort to the elderly and with professional caregivers to give a sense of belonging to the elders. She noted that the facility is equipped with a clinic for necessary health care as well as recreational facilities for different exercises and game rooms.
A government that is deeply connected to ensuring the welfare of our people, especially the elders. Permit me, Your Excellency and Mother, to thank you for the great work you started by empowering elders through the Elderly Support Scheme. Today, we can proudly tell you that every month, across the 369 wards in our state, 600 elders are given 50,000 naira each on a rotational basis to care for their immediate needs. This center is one of the major projects we are executing in where we now call the medical, Igbo Medical City. This whole area, even at the back, is a one-stop health ecosystem. We have commenced work on the construction of the 350-bed Ibom International Hospital, complete with over 29 departments, including oncology.
Away from that, the federal government has approved 100 billion naira under the National Public Sector Solarization Initiative to provide reliable electricity to public institutions across the country. Managing Director of the Rural Electrification Agency, Engineer Abba Aliyu, disclosed this during a visit by the Administrator of NJI, Justice Babatunde Adejumo, to the agency's headquarters in Abuja. Aliyu said the initiative aims to address electricity challenges faced by government institutions, particularly those struggling with inadequate power supply or rising energy costs. According to him, the program is part of broader efforts by the federal government to expand electricity access through renewable energy solutions. Meanwhile, the federal government has said that reliable population data is critical for effective national planning, fair distribution of resources, and the development of policies that address the real needs of Nigerians. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, said this when he hosted the leadership of the National Population Commission in Abuja. The NPC delegation, led by its chairman Aminu Yusuf, comprised federal commissioners and senior officials who were at the ministry to strengthen cooperation between both institutions. The minister said dependable demographic data is necessary for any government that wants to properly address the challenges facing its citizens. He explained that accurate information about the country's population is a key requirement for meaningful development. Elsewhere, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, has declared that unlocking the productive capacity of women-led enterprises and integrating them into formal trade systems are key to achieving Nigeria's ambition to lead intra-African trade under the African Continental Free Trade Area. She made the assertion at a colloquium in honor of women's roles in the industry, trade and investment held at the National Assembly Library Complex in Abuja with the theme, Positioning Nigeria to Lead Intra-African Trade. In her keynote address, Oduwole said Nigeria's industrialization strategy must confront the reality that women remain a critical but underutilized force in the economy. According to her, real economic transformation will depend on building productive and competitive enterprises capable of manufacturing, processing, and exporting at scale. On judicial marches, the Court of Appeal in Abuja is set to deliver judgment on the consolidated appeals arising from the National Elective Convention of the People's Democratic Party, which was held on November 15 and 16, 2025. Reports say there are 9 appeals altogether challenging the validity of the Ibadan Convention. We will bring you more details on this report in a subsequent bulletin. On security matters, troops fighting insurgency in the northeast have been urged to sustain pressure on terrorist groups as military operations continue in the region. This was contained in a press release shared on the official page of the Nigerian Army. According to the statements, the Army chief gave the directive during an operational assessment visit to the headquarters Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai in Maiduguri, Borno State. The Army noted that the visit was aimed at assessing the security situation in the theater of operations, reviewing ongoing activities and strengthening coordination with other security stakeholders working to address remaining threats in the region. We move now to Africa, where Guinea has dissolved 40 political parties, including its 3 main opposition groups, in the latest crackdown on civil liberties on the president of Guinea, Mamadi Doumbouya. Doumbouya, who came to power in 2021 during a coup, was elected president in late December in a vote in which all major opposition leaders were barred. Guinea's Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization ordered the dissolution of the parties for failure to fulfill their obligations. The decree also stripped the political parties' control of their assets. And on the foreign scene, the former mayor of Istanbul, Ekrem İmamoğlu, is due to become the central defendant in a mass corruption trial that his opposition party and rights groups say is politically motivated. İmamoğlu, 55, faces more than 140 charges, including corruption and running a criminal organization, as prosecutors seek a jail term of up to 2,430 years. Meanwhile, İmamoğlu and his Republican People's Party have denied any wrongdoing. They accused Turkish President Recep Erdogan and his allies of launching a crackdown over the leader's decline in popularity. Still on the foreign scene, G7 nations will hold an emergency meeting today to discuss surging oil prices as crude jumped above $100 a barrel and stock markets slumped over the escalating U.S.-Israeli war with Iran. Finance ministers from leading industrialized countries, including UK Chancellor Rachel Reeves, will gather to discuss the economic impact of the conflict. Reports say global oil prices reached nearly $120 today over fears of a prolonged disruption to energy supplies through the key Strait of Hormuz shipping route, and the UK's FTSE 100 share index opened down 1.7%. Still to come in the news. West Ham United to face Brentford FC in FA Cup 5th round clash tonight. Do stay tuned for details of this and more in a moment. Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. And now to conclude the news on this hour. On our business news, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, has said that the resolution of the long-running dispute over oil prospecting license OPL 245 will reposition Nigeria's economy and strengthen the country's fiscal capacity. Fagbemi said this in Abuja after the signing of a legal agreement that ended the protracted dispute involving oil block. The minister described the development as a major milestone for Nigeria's oil and gas sector. He noted that the settlement reached between the federal government and international oil companies, IOCs, ENI and Nigerian Ajib Exploration Limited effectively ended more than 2 decades of legal battles and international arbitration over the asset. On our health news, the Ekiti State government has recorded a major public health milestone with the successful vaccination of over 1.2 million children during a statewide measles rubella immunization campaign. The State Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Dr. Oyebanji Filani, disclosed that the 13-day exercise achieved 99% coverage, reaching 1.21 million children out of the 1.22 million targeted across the state. Filani said the outcome demonstrated the effectiveness of coordinated public health systems and strong community mobilization aimed at ensuring that no eligible child was left behind in accessing life-saving vaccines. He explained that analyses of the campaign data revealed that girls accounted for a slightly higher proportion of vaccinated children. Move down to the world of sports, where West Ham United will face fellow London side Brentford FC tonight in a fifth-round clash of the FA Cup. The match is scheduled to kick off at 7:30 p.m. at the London Stadium, where West Ham will look to capitalise on home advantage. Both clubs are aiming to secure a spot in the quarter-finals of the tournament, with Brentford hoping to upset their host and extend their FA Cup run. Still in sports, former African and Nigeria champions Enyimba International Football Club has dropped into the dreaded relegation zone in the current Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) as they now occupy 17th position on the table. Enyimba was beaten 2-1 by Warri Wolves during the week 29 of the ongoing campaign, leaving the Aba team with 33 points after winning 8 matches, drawing 9 encounters and losing 12 games. The People's Elephant has undergone several reforms in its coaching crew. Unfortunately, it is still struggling to rediscover the form that terrified its opponents in the past. The dismal results produced by the club, especially in 2026, and the current 17th position on the NPFL table, have created fears among the Enyimba fans, with many of them urging the players and coaching crew to ensure that Enyimba maintains NPFL status at the end of the season. On entertainment news, Nigerian actress and reality star Beverly Osu has said that she has been underpaid over the years, stressing that she should be a billionaire by now from how hard she has worked. Speaking in a recent podcast, Osu claimed that her portfolio in the entertainment industry should be enough for her to be a billionaire in every African currency. And that's all we have on this news bulletin. Do also follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. This has been Spectrum Television News at 12. I am Uyai MM. Thanks for watching. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon.